morning. It's coffee time. Best cup of the day. I just wanted to share a real quick video with you guys. And I want to make a little leftover dish because you know how I love to do that. So anyway, I had a teeny tiny bit of, this is benevolent chicken. So it's vegan chicken, but if you have just a tiny piece of chicken or one chicken breast, you can chop that up real fine. I'm making an impromptu chicken salad because I have a hoagie roll, I have some salad, and I want to make like a chicken hoagie. So anyway, it's going to be very simple. Here I have a jar of mustard. It's champagne mustard that was really good. It's dill. We got it at some home expo. And if you can see in there, there's like nothing in there except a teeny tiny bit. Well, it was so good I don't want to waste any of it. And it's a cute little glass when you're done. The lid pops on. So I'll be taking this with me to the boat because that's where I'm going to eat this sandwich. So anyway, got that tiny bit of dill mustard. Then I've got this jar of mayonnaise that I bought at the Dollar Tree. And the cool thing about this is, nothing special, but the lid. If you have these little candles from the Dollar Tree, now this one's all burned up, so I'm going to take the wax out of there. And somewhere on my playlist I have a candle making video of what I do with all these little tiny bits of leftover candles. But anyway, the lid is plastic and it fits beautifully right on these jars. And these jars, I believe, are the same width as some of the mason jars, the bigger ones. So don't throw the lids away. They work great. So anyway, another thing I'm going to put in my chicken salad, rather than chopping up pickles and, doing that route, I'm going to put in some Vlasic dill relish. It works great. So I don't want to cut up a whole onion, but I do on my countertop, I keep some green onions. And you can use the bottom if you want a stronger taste, or the tops. And all I do is cut the tops off and use them that way. And I think I'm going to try and put the rest of these, or a couple of them, in my garden for a couple months yet before the frost comes. So anyway, I'm going to put all these things together, and then I'm going to take it with me in this jar. So use what you have, even if it's a tiny snippet of mustard or leftover chicken, whatever protein you eat, and try different things with plastic lids, because if you buy these, you can buy white ones on Amazon instead of using the metal ones, because these tend to rust after a while. And they're great for storing little bits of tomatoes and little bits of onion. I use these little jars for everything. I always keep them. Here I made some cinnamon sugar the other day. I made a banana bread, and it even says cinnamon on there. So it's a great little jar for making cinnamon sugar. Why buy it? You already have the ingredients. So I'm going to put this together now. I'll put a couple seasonings on there. I like to put some garlic powder on there. So let me get this all together and I'll be right back. Okay, so another thing I do, whenever I get the little packets that come with the plastic forks and knives and spoons that a lot of the restaurants are giving out now, I save the salt and pepper packets, and it's usually enough, one or two is enough of these to season a dish. So I just save them in a little container, and I use these for cooking. So I'm going to put a pepper in there, and you can use as many as you like, of course. And I already put the chicken in here because I want to get all the mustard. So I'm going to put, oh, not too much because it's not much chicken, like maybe half a teaspoon of, maybe a little more, half a teaspoon of relish, pickle relish, and a couple good teaspoons of mayo. And then, of course, always taste your food because not everybody has the same taste buds. So another jar lid that fits is if you buy the Dollar Tree peanut butter, the small jars of peanut butter, or really any peanut butter, those lids will also fit on those little jars. Just a little hint. So I have a little bit of garlic salt. See, I'm not kidding. I use these jars for everything. I'm going to put some garlic salt in there. Not too much. You can always add more. And I squeezed some fresh lemon juice. I had a couple of lemons that were going to go bad. And another one of those jars. But this is a peanut butter lid. As you can see, it says Jif. Works great. A little bit of lemon juice in there. Oops, I think that might have been a bit much, but well, we'll see. So I think that's pretty good. And then I'm going to snip off. I keep a little pair of snippers. I'm going to snip off some green onion off my onions here. Not too much because, like I said, this is just a little tiny bit. It's enough for one sandwich. And I'm just going to snip those right in there. And then I'm also going to add some onion powder because I do like onions. They don't like me, but I like them. So sorry for the elbows. So a little bit of onion powder, again to taste. If you're learning to cook, start off with recipes, but eventually cook by taste. So I have everything in here now, and I'm just going to give that a good mix. And I'll be back when it's all mixed up. Okay, there's my not chicken salad. And I just tasted it, and it's really good. And it's just enough for one sandwich. I can reuse this. I'll just snap the lid on. It's good to go. I'll remove this label and maybe use it as a glass. You can even use it to put a tiny bouquet of flowers in. Reuse your salt and pepper. Keep it by your stove. I went online and at Walmart, and a little thing of pepper was really expensive. I was surprised. So I keep this by my stove. Reuse your candle jars for spices, little leftovers, anything. And save your lids from the peanut butter and the mayo. And there you go. You get some free stuff. You're going to use it anyway. Okay, I'll be back later with some more frugal things. Okay, I'm back. I just wanted to give you a couple more frugal tips. So I have this bigger jar of mayonnaise. You can get it Hellmann's, whatever. This happens to be Aldi's brand Berman. I haven't opened it yet, but the lid, it fits on here too. So there you go. And this will fit on regular mason jars as well. So save these lids because you can use them for storage in your fridge. And then I wanted to talk to you about, let me put my camera up a little bit. Hi. I love these kitchen tools. So I have a lot of cheap knives that I got at Mark's. They were really cheap on sale. And what I do is, they're really sharp because I have this knife sharpener that I've had forever. And whenever I have a big chopping job, I just do this about 10-20 times. I sharpen my knife and they always remain sharp, and you don't have to spend a ton of money on knives. So that's just a little hint. And then I have these snips. I don't know what brand they are, but you can get them anywhere. And I love these. I keep them by my onions right here on the counter. And but these are great for herbs and anything that you want to snip up, onions, whatever. I keep these handy too, and it's well worth the investment. So this is a great kitchen tool if you want to reuse your herbs and things. Also, on the subject of herbs, if you buy fresh herbs, they usually don't last long when you get them from the grocery store. If you put them in water and put them in your refrigerator, you'll get a little more time out of them. But another way to preserve them is to chop them up and freeze them. I do that a lot as well. And they're great for cooking. I mean, they're not as crisp anymore as they were, but they're great in other dishes where it doesn't matter because you're going to cook them anyway. So before they go bad, chop them up and freeze them. I chop everything up and freeze it. You can even do it with lettuce and salads and then put those in smoothies and reuse those things. So those are just a couple more tips. I'm back again. I just keep finding more lids. Anyway, I bought this Parmesan cheese. That hasn't been opened yet either. And the lid has a shaker, and it also has a spoon thing. And you guessed it, it fits on the little mason jars too. So before you throw any lids out, give a try and see if they fit on these little mason jars or regular size. Now they will not fit on these Priano jars, the spaghetti sauce, but I like to keep these because they have measurements on the side. And I use this to make my hummingbird food because right there it's got all the measurements. So my little hummingbirds have their own little container. But yeah, save these plastic lids and these little jars. You can use them for just about anything. Okay, I'll see what else frugal I can find. Yay! All right, here's another frugal thing that I do. Here in Ohio, September can have all kinds of weather. Same with October. It can be really warm, it can be cool, but I don't want to turn my central heating on until at least October. So we have, I think today is the 20th. So to get around that, I have this little fireplace insert, and it wasn't real expensive. I bought it on Amazon. And it heats, and you can also turn the heat off and just have the faux fire going. But it looks nice on my fireplace. So I start to turn that on in the fall. But in the mornings, it can get pretty chilly in the house. And I'm really in two rooms. I'm in my living room and my kitchen. So I come down in the morning and I turn this on for maybe an hour. Now it was 64 in here when I came down this morning, and now the thermostat is, I don't know if you'll be able to see this or not, it's up to 70 degrees. So, and that's just from that little heater. And I also have one in the kitchen. So I've had this for a long time, and it's a combination fan and heater, and it even has a little remote that you can use. But I use this all the time in the summer, and I keep this in my living room. It helps distribute the air conditioning, and the dogs love it. They love to lay in front of it, and it will swing too. But now I'm using it in my kitchen when I come down in the morning. I just turn this on for maybe an hour, and it warms up the kitchen. And I don't have to run my central heat because that gets to be expensive. So I will do this until October, when it really starts to get chilly at night, but it went down to 45 last night. So this comes in really handy, and it saves me money. So there's another frugal money saving tip for you. And here comes my little friend. Oh, there she goes. What are you doing, Lizzie? Are you ringing the bell? I trained her to ring the bell when she needs to go outside, so that's what she does. And this guy, he'll ring the bell too. Ring the bell! I don't know if they'll do it now. Ring the bell, Lizzie! Ring the bell! She's getting her face dusted. Anyway, hi guys! That's what they do. They ring the little bell. So here's another thing I do to save money, and I have shredded a ton of bills and papers, and they all go in the composter, and this is my big composter. I have a smaller one that I want to put together, but all my kitchen scraps go in here, but that's not really what I wanted to show you. But I don't know if you can see, there's an avocado pit there. I throw those in there, and I've got 3 avocados coming up here. So I will dig those out and put them in a pot and see if I can grow them. But anyway, I thought that was pretty cool, and they haven't really been in there too long. But yeah, so that's a good way to save money in the spring. You have fresh compost, it's green for the earth, and it saves money. So I just wanted to show you, this was a little avocado tree that I rescued out of the composter a couple weeks ago. When I got it out of there, it was all pink, and when I put it in this pot, all the leaves shriveled up. So I don't know why it did that, maybe just the change of environment, but now it's all getting new leaves. So I just put it in the pot and I kept watering it, and this is like a week and a half later, it's getting new leaves. So I want to try and rescue the other 3 that are in the composter and see what happens. I love experimenting with plants and flowers. This little guy right here didn't have any roots. My mom was going to throw it away. It was going to go in her composter, and I said, oh, give that to me. I'm going to see if I can't maybe rescue it. And it's got a new leaf coming out. So it grew new roots, and it looks healthy and happy. This is kind of off subject from frugality, but I have this little gnome garden here. It doesn't have any real plants in it anymore, but my little granddaughters love to come over here and rearrange all the little characters in here. So if you have little grandchildren, maybe consider making a little gnome garden in your house, and it's something cute that they can play with. So there you have it. some more frugal money saving tips. These days when we have to stretch a dollar, at least a lot of us do, we have to stretch a dollar from here to here as far as we can. I love to share tips that I do. I love to learn tips from you guys. So if you have some wonderful tips that you'd like to share with us in the community, please leave it below in a comment. I love reading those. And pretty much that's all I have for you today. So save what you can, reuse what you can, and pass on those things that you don't need anymore, because there's many people out there, especially in these times, that can use a helping hand. And especially with food, you know, you can donate to your food bank. If you don't have money yourself, you can go to the food bank and get things. But I try to use up every little snippet of everything I have. And if I don't get to it sometimes, which happens, I mean, things happen. You go away and you come back and something isn't good anymore. It goes in the composter. So it's not totally wasted. All right, my friends, that's all I have for you today. I want to wish you abundant blessings. I love you guys, and I'll see you next time.